Bonjour la famille. Quand l'immigration Canada dit qu'il veut réduire le nombre de nouveaux arrivants ou le nombre d'immigrants parce qu'il y a premièrement beaucoup de gens et deuxièmement c'est parce qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui viennent au Canada à travers la fraude, elle n'a pas tout à fait tort. La vidéo que je vais vous montrer va vous laisser bouche bée. Pourquoi? Parce qu'il y a des personnes, il y a des communautés qui sont tellement expérimentés dans la fraude à l'immigration, ils ont développé des techniques, des tactiques que vous-même, vous n'allez pas en croire. Ok? Vous n'allez pas en croire. Je vous laisse regarder la vidéo et ensuite, on se retrouve tout juste après.
Asking her if she had a boyfriend, which she had replied no. She asked if she wanted an Indian boyfriend, and my niece's reply was, well, how old is he? And she said 25, and she said, well, I'm only 17.
I heard I could make $20,000 if I wanted to marry the manager's brother here. Can I start that process? You have no comments on it? So is it true or not?
Just because your boss doesn't like the fact that an independent journalist is in here video recording, that's not up to him. She has the right to do that. I'm not gonna, no.
For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini here in Picton, Ontario, just south of Belleville. And as you can see behind me, we're at the local Tim Hortons, which has been more aptly named Sing Hortons in recent months because franchise owners have really been taking advantage of the temporary foreign worker program and specifically LMIAs, Labor Market Impact Assessments, which allow for the employer to receive federal government funding to hire temporary foreign workers. And they say they're doing so because they cannot find Canadians to fill that role. Now, it's happening here at this particular Tim Hortons and perhaps even others goes above and beyond that. And so I'm joined here with Matt Monroe, whose niece, 17-year-old girl, was offered a staggering deal to partake in some immigration fraud, and he's going to sound the alarm on all of this. So can you tell us a little bit about your niece's employment here at Tim Hortons and where it all went wrong?
So she's been working here. She wasn't working here very long, maybe a few months, and everything seemed to be going all right. And then she sent me a message with a bunch of screenshots that her manager, I guess I shouldn't say the name. Her manager had sent her a message over Snapchat asking her if she had a boyfriend, which she had replied no. She asked if she wanted an Indian boyfriend, and my niece's reply was, well, how old is he? And she said 25, and she said, well, I'm only 17. Like, no. And she replied with, well, if you want an Indian boyfriend, he can pay you $15,000 to $20,000 to get with him. Which she replied like, no, this is illegal. Mm-hmm. So at that point, she was done talking to her manager. She went to her other manager then, and her other manager basically laughed her off, said this was no big deal, it's just a joke, and then proceeded to make a joke and make fun of her and the situation. She went to another employee to confide in her. Her other employee tried to talk her into taking the money and doing the bribe, to which she replied again, like, no, this is illegal. This is immigration fraud. And her reply, the other co-worker's reply was, I know 4 other people that have been married for 6 years who have never met each other. And she said, again, my niece replied, no, this is illegal. This is immigration fraud. And she said the co-worker's reply to that was, well, it's only illegal if someone calls the cops. And again, my niece was just having no part of it. So because she got no support from her other managers or other employees, she felt very uncomfortable there. So she ended up quitting and losing her job. And then the other manager just basically kept making a joke of it. Says to other customers that come through the drive-through, hey, you want to marry my brother? I'll pay you $20,000, but don't forget to call Fraude on me. So like, it's not a joking situation. Like, my niece is underage. She's been through a lot in life. Like, she lost her father when she was just an infant. So she's had enough to deal with in her life. I'm not taking this lightly. I'm going to push to make sure everybody involved in this gets their repercussions for their actions. Like, this is unacceptable. It's unethical. And to target a minor who they knew were having financial issues and mental health issues is just, it's disgusting, really. It really is.
And not to mention completely illegal.
Yeah, it's very illegal.
And it seems like, you know, Tim Hortons now, in addition to getting a double-double, you can be served up some immigration fraud. And it seems to be happening more and more and becoming something that we're hearing more of. And as you said, you know, the coworker knows of at least 4 other people. Do you know if that came from this Tim Hortons or other fast food restaurants? Do you have any insight there?
I'm going to assume it's happened locally because, again, she's a local. So I'm going to assume, so I imagine it's going to be looked into as well. But since I've made the post, like, I've had multiple people come to me saying that they've had the same offer to them. And it doesn't seem to be happening just here either. Like, we've had people from Ottawa message us saying that the same thing has been happening to them. So, I mean, like, it's disturbing, and like, I just don't know what to say other than it's disturbing, and it's just disgusting what it's come to. Like, Tim Hortons used to be a pretty proudly Canadian-run business. I mean, it's bringing shame to the legacy. Like, Tim Hortons, great hockey player, used to be a great franchise, and now it's just disgusting.
At what point did you notice that this Tim Hortons started to shift gears in that regard, where it was no longer that like old stock Canadian heritage-based franchise?
It started when I started coming through, and mind you, like, I've been coming here for over 20 years, and there's been people that's worked here for as long as I can remember, and I just start seeing less of them and more new Canadians coming in, to the point where I don't recognize anybody that works there anymore. And both Picton, Wellington, like, I don't think there's a local that really works there too much anymore. Maybe 2 or 3.
Right. And you hear that more and more, that youth unemployment is skyrocketing. They're being undercut by essentially a slave working class. The labor market impact assessment and the temporary foreign worker program has been flagged since at least 2021 as being riddled with fraud, mismanagement, abuse, and the Liberals have really done nothing to try to curb it or counteract any of it. What's next for your niece, who's part of that new generation that is being undercut by all of this? I
really don't know. Like, I don't know really what's gonna, like, my brother has been looking for a job. Like, he was laid off, work got slow, and he's been looking for a new job for 8 months with no success whatsoever. Like, nobody really looks at him. Like, he's been everywhere too. He's been Canadian Tire, multiple temp agencies and everything, and nothing. So, like, it's getting hard for people to get a job.
And meanwhile, it seems like labor market impact assessments could subsidize this Tim Hortons and other small fast food chains up to, you know, $36+ an hour for a manager.
Yeah, it's really getting to be a problem. It really is. Like, the unemployment rate, the homeless rate, and everything in Canada is staggering. Like, Belleville's, it's been nicknamed the tent city. Kingston is not much better. Like, it's crazy. Like, even in Picton here, small town, I've noticed more and more people like camping out in the parks and stuff. Like, and housing is good luck. Like, right. You can't afford, like, myself and my wife, we both have decent jobs, and like, we have troubles, struggling, like, not struggling, but there's no such thing as a comfortable living in Canada anymore.
Right. That's a scary thought. Now, this just happened recently, as I understand, last week. There's a couple others behind us who allege kind of similar mistreatment and other sketchy happenings at this Tim Hortons. They don't necessarily want to come on record because of potential litigation, both initiated by these individuals. And I also did go into this Tim Hortons to see if I could maybe be offered $20,000 to marry the manager's brother. So have a look at how that went. I heard I could make $20,000 if I wanted to marry the manager's brother here. Can I start that process?
I don't have any comments on that.
You have no comments on it? So is it true or not?
I'm not sure.
Pardon me?
No comments on that.
No comments. So you're saying it's potentially true then by not saying it's not true? No comment. Are you the manager?
No.
No?
She's the lady. She's okay.
That's the one that's offering $20,000 to marry her brother? You're not sure? No? Okay. Thanks anyway.
Call. The owner called, but he's not here. So he's claiming that that gentleman who was trespassed came into the store.
Not the gentleman, the lady.
What lady?
The one who's running the...
Yeah. And what's wrong with that?
So he said that no one, like, she's trespassing in the private property.
How is she trespassing?
Like, he was, like, standing in the lobby.
She is an independent journalist. She was never trespassed from this property, and she has her 100% rights to be here. Just because your boss doesn't like the fact that an independent journalist is in here video recording, that's not up to him. She has the right to do that.
I can call him.
I'm not going to, no, I'm not going to talk to him. You tell him that she has all the right to be here.
Okay.
I'm not going to entertain that. You tell that to Mohammed. I'm sorry if I'm being crass with you, but you relay that to Mohammed that I'm not even entertaining that portion of it, of this lady being here.
If any media is
It doesn't matter. They have all the rights in the world to do it.
Matt, have you spoken to any politicians? Has anyone reached out to you after your post went, semi-viral? And what's your plan next now that you've gone to media about this?
I believe there was a reach out to Chris Mellette, I believe is his name there, the local MP. I am planning on reaching out further. I really want something to be done here, and I need someone that's actually going to pay attention to this, and I'm thankful that you took this on.
What about the local police? Have you tried to report the illegal immigration fraud happening at this location?
Yeah, the police are involved. I called and I was trying to get some updates on that. It was a little bit of a time before I got an update, so that's again why I made this post, to make it aware. I really wanted to put pressure on the owner, Tim Hortons, to do an investigation, look at what's going on, but also for the OPP to kind of be like, hey, I'm not letting this go. This needs to be dealt with.
So there is an active investigation?
Well, there is, but I don't know any of the details.
Right.
I can tell you I'm not involved with it. Another officer is, but that's as much as I could tell you.
So yes, I've been really putting pressure on the OPP. There is an investigation, which I'm helping with as well, with any way I can. So yeah, like I say, there is an open investigation that is happening. The crime is skyrocketed here. A lot of Canada is not safe anymore.
Après avoir vu une telle vidéo, est-ce que on va encore dire que IRCC a tort de vouloir lutter contre la fraude à l'immigration, ou est-ce que les Canadiens ont vraiment tort de se plaindre? Parce que ce qui se passe là est aberrant, ok? Là, on ne parle pas d'Africains, parce que dernièrement, le reportage qui est sorti a vraiment sali l'image des Africains. On ne va pas se le cacher, parce que on a vraiment généralisé une situation à tout un continent, mais on oublie qu'il y a d'autres qui font encore pire que ça. Donc, il y a des personnes qui ont trouvé le moyen de rentrer au Canada et ils se sont dit, vu que c'est une terre d'accueil, terre d'immigration, mais là, on va maintenant foutre la merde, ok? On va faire n'importe quoi comme si on était chez nous, ok? Ils ne vont pas respecter les règles, ils vont complètement ignorer la loi, aucun respect, et ils oublient que leurs actes, leurs actes vont toucher également les autres communautés. Pour le moment, ça serait allegedly. Mais Est-ce que ce que vous avez vu dans le reportage, c'est une invention? Non. En dehors de cette vidéo, ok, je vous ai déjà montré une autre vidéo où des Canadiens se plaignaient de cette communauté qu'il y a trop de fraude. On ne parlera pas d'étudiants étrangers il y a plusieurs, ok, il y a beaucoup d'étudiants étrangers provenant de cette communauté qui ont presque été expulsés. Vous savez que pour avoir les permis d'études, c'est maintenant compliqué. Et là encore, ce qui va simplement se passer, c'est que l'immigration au Canada, dans les prochains mois ou prochaines années, on va devoir l'oublier. Pas parce que c'est le Canada qui ne veut plus d'immigrants ou qui n'a plus besoin, parce que oui, le Canada a encore besoin. Vous le voyez, il y a des entreprises qui crient, il y a des écoles qui ferment, il y a des professeurs qui sont renvoyés parce qu'il y a des programmes d'études qui n'existent plus, parce qu'il n'y a plus d'inscription. Mais le problème, c'est que ceux qui arrivent, ok, au lieu d'être exemplaires, eux, ils détruisent la réputation du pays et ça montre tout simplement aux dirigeants que on n'aurait pas dû prendre ces personnes-là, alors qu'en arrière, il y a des personnes honnêtes qui voudraient venir, mais malheureusement, ceux-là vont se retrouver pénalisés à cause des personnes qui ne sont pas exemplaires. C'est vraiment dommage parce que de jour en jour, en fait, il y a des choses qui ne font que ressortir. Pourquoi est-ce que tout ça ressort en 2025? Est-ce que c'est parce que les communautés ou des personnes commencent à avoir peur que l'immigration cesse tout immédiatement et ils commencent vraiment à développer plus de connaissances, de compétences au niveau de la fraude? Point d'interrogation. Sinon, de votre côté, que pensez-vous de cette situation? Dans les commentaires, votre réponse.